nothing. We get nothing. I mean, yeah, we get nothing. Oh wow, whoa, it's me. Anyway, this will take a while though. Oh, actually, no. Let me pre-farm maybe, someone? Can I pre-farm? No. Wait a minute. Am I a genius? Okay, that's good. That's good play for me. From me, I mean. Interesting. Yeah, I can't wait to play Minecraft, but I need to do my obligation. Which is crazy action. I was... oh my god. Are you shitting me?
My purpose is to protect.
I see.
Bracket, rise!
This is beyond me though.
I'll endure. Soaring above the lands, this is permanence!
Observe the heavens with my divinations! Test of luck! An explosive start! Bad omen. Don't thank me.
I'll endure. I'll endure.
Test of luck! An explosive start! Observe the heavens with my divinations! Bad omen. Don't thank me.
Yeah. Actually, I was currently I can speak swear. Okay, it's done. I'm browsing mods for my Minecraft actually, so that's why I was a bit silent. Other than that, it's fine. Is this good? I mean, maybe. Anyway, that's all done. We can fast like usual. Barely took minute. I mean. And dun. Wait a minute. You guys there for a moment. Wait. Hmm. Okay, I'm back. Sorry. But yeah. This is kinda annoying, Sparsy. Can you chill? I don't need you on my ass 24/7. I know you're coming, but chill about it anyway. I don't need to be reminded every day. Because I already never forget. Okay. I already know. I already remember. I always remember. But chill. Anyway, that's it. Now Genshin, then Minecraft. Easy, you know? Yeah. Mm-hmm. No. No. It's okay. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Oh my god, wait a minute. Just wait.
Come take a look. There will definitely be something that catches your eye.
But it's Madoku. It's where?
There are leaves around, and I know just the tune to accompany them, if you wish to
Really
hear
now.
it.
Shut up.
Come take a look. There will definitely be something that catches your eye.
Interesting.
Come take a look.
This
There will
scenery is
definitely be
wonderful.
something that catches your eye.
Surely enough to convince anyone to become a wanderer.
Haven't you heard? There's a strange wanderer near Wolfendom.
Okay, let's play. Am I full or no? But fuck, I'm full. That's not great. Anyway. Yeah. I'm kinda AFK for a while there. But you know, I'm not actually AFK. I'm just doing something off screen. Okay? Wait, why I came here though? Kinda funny. I autopiloted here. I don't know why. Why am I here? What? I'm beyond confused.
One with nature.
How dare you! Our bond is strong.
That's cool. Please, please, please. Faster, faster, faster. I was AFK for so long actually. That's crazy.
Everyone hold hands. Dissipate. Hey! Strike a pose!
Shit. I missed that.
Wind strike. Fallen leaves. Adorn my night.
Die.
Time to go.
That's it, I'm done. KKK, I am done. Interestingly enough. That's it for today on Genshin Impact. Now let me, oh my god, my bad. That's it, that's it. Let's go.
Time to go.
Come on. Faster,
Add Astra.
faster, faster,
Thank
faster,
you for
faster, faster,
Add Astra.
faster, 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 faster. Okay. Done. Okay, nice. What the fuck? It's not what I... Is that what I... Like... Wait, this again? Let's get to... Wait, I can... Oh, I can do that? What do you mean? We're gonna build them for clarity, you have no dogs then. That is crazy. That is not good for me. That is bullshit actually. I don't need anyone else. Like, whom's would I choose? Cool.
Wherever in this world I roam.
What are we doing? Let's just jump right to it, maybe? Probably not. But I'm just... okay. Wait a minute. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Hold on, I'm searching for more content for myself. So yeah. Hmm. Let's see. I'm just scrolling to the module right now, so you don't need to see it. You don't need to see it, okay? Don't need to see things. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Fine. What is this? Okay. Hmm. That's kind of useful. Oh. Interesting. Mm-hmm. Okay, it's fine. We can play now. I think anyway. Unless it's fucked. It's fine, it's fine, it's fine. Okay, we're playing. Go. Okay, that loads. Okay. Imperia, Benhor. Ilsover. I think it's Ilsover. Ilsover. Her. 44. Give me bonus chest. Then, wait a minute. Let me do this. It's fine. No, I need all. Okay, never comment block. Sure. Represent event. I mean, I'm alone, so it won't be. It won't be on universal anchor, no. Damage, yeah. I think keep it. I just want that, okay. For my convenience. That new wall. Interesting. Let's see. I think I'm playing a bit tanky today. A bit hard hitting tanks, maybe. I mean, I don't think it will be fun, but I think I need to try that out. Probably. But wait, honestly, no, that's such a bad idea. I want a fast build, actually. Let's try a heavy build later on. Later on. But yeah, this kinda takes so long. Maybe it's because the 10,000 mods I added it. Probably right. I added too many mods, I think. Actually, before we start, what should I pick? Where can I see the fog? I think this good. Obviously, fighter. Why am I here again, dude? Oh my god. Wait a minute, I think I'm testing out something after this. After literally this, dude. I'm testing because enchanting Infuser is really expensive for me, dude. It's kinda unnecessary, to say the least. that sensor to refine. I'm thinking. Die. Okay. Genshin was pre-installed for me, so that's why I'm saying okay. Not like you need to know that or anything. But yeah, I just want to tell you, I'm gonna lie. No, we're just chilling. Yes, it's over. It's actually over. But I think it's fine. It's not what I want. I can autopilot it there. Come on, come on. It's actually crazy. It's actually crazy. Yes, it is crazy. I want to test the new. I wanna test something. Stay with me. Stay with me. Na, 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 na. That is silly. I'm sorry. Hmm. What is going on here? That is so weird. One, two, three, 9. That is 10, 11. No, 10, 13, 14, 15. Years. I know. I mean, that is good enough, right? That's just a up, uh, please. That's how, okay. To level, Again. Hmm. But this is it, right? That's size. Get that. And it feels faster this time for no reason. What about it's under no also it makes sense. My god, my my pizza right to it's gone. My pizza is gone, dude. It, that that happened. Like, sorry.